Alright guys, welcome back. So in this tutorial, we'll get started with modeling two tables. So here's the reference image. So basically, well, it's a two different method. And first method, well, create this table. And then we'll use another method to create this chair model. Here's it. Okay, so let's get started. So we'll go to top menu create and Polygon Primitive. I've explained the difference between these primitives in my last tutorial. Okay, so we'll go to Polygon Primitive and start with a cube. Okay, so I'll use our first method for modeling. Let's go back here. Okay, so I'll create this table first, and let's think about which part would we start with our modeling. So I would start with the top, this cover. It's because this piece is more obvious to me. I can see the width, the length, and the proportion, and also the thickness. Very easy. So I will start with this piece first, and then use that as a reference to create the next. Okay. So here we have a cube, and for the first method, as I said, we'll go to here. Under is inputs. Basically, whenever you started with create and started with a object, and then we go to its node, you can go to its inputs. So these are the default setting of the object you created. So by default for this cube, the width, the height, and the depth are 1 unit. Okay, and subdivision width, height, and depth, they're all 1. So you can see that there's no subdivision in between each of these edges. So and for the height, depth, and width, they are 1 unit. So basically is 1 unit is 1 cell on the grid. Okay, so it depends on if you really want to create a precise model and you're going to do 3D printing or not. So if you want this to be centimeter or inches or even meter, and then you can go to the top menu, click on Maya, and go to preferences, and then go to settings, and here you go, you get to working unit. So here you can decide what unit you want. You can do millimeter or centimeter, right? And you can do meter or inch. So these are the real scale that you can use. So I just set it as a centimeter. And since I haven't changed anything, so I just click on cancel. Okay, so now I know that my cube is the width and height and the depth, they're all 1 centimeter. I will put the width as maybe about 20, and for this side I will put it as a 60 centimeter. So you can change it here. So width as 20. Oh, sorry, I just put it in the wrong place. So the width I will put is 20, and the depth I put 60. So now you can zoom out. You can see this is the table cover, and it may be too much. So the length may be too much, and instead of 60, I will put 45. Okay, it's more like that. And the height is 1 centimeter. That's good. Okay, so this is the table cover, and I will move it up a little bit, and see, here is the record. So I just move it up about like 10 centimeters, 10.6 centimeters. So now let's go to menu create and Polygon Primitive and create another cube. And for this cube, I'm going to use it for the necks. And here's the thickness of the neck. As you can see, it's about, here's the 1 centimeter, and then it will be 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Okay, so I will go to its input setting, and for width 3.5, and the depth 3.5. Okay, and then about the height, it is similar to the width, so that's about 20. Okay, and you can move it to the side. Okay, so just to get a rough position here is fine, and then I can go to the tool menu here, and then I can reference the real scale. So I can make this as an integer. So instead of 20.15, I would just put 20 here. Instead of 7.6, I would just put 8. Oh wait, 8 is too much. Maybe, as you can see, it's getting too close to the edge. So I will put it 7 or 7.5. And see here. So we have put the height as 20. So that means above the ground there's a 10 units, 10 centimeter. Under the ground there's a 10 centimeter. And for this cover, we just move it up about like a 10.6. So they should be very close together, and we can just manually type 10. By doing that, we make sure that they are stay together. Okay. So now I get one nag. How am I be able to move it to other corner? Actually, so now I get a one nag. How can I create other nags? Should I go to the tool menu and create Polygon Cube and change the numbers and move it again? I think it will be too much. It will increase the works I will have to do. So I will do it another way. I will just duplicate this one and put it on the other corners. Okay, so see, if I just make a duplication by hit Command D, and then I can move it. Okay, and as you know, for this top cover, we set is the depth as a 45 and it's expanded from the center to the two sides. So that means it is symmetry. If I place the second nag the same distance towards the center of the world as the first nag, so this whole thing will be symmetry, right? So let's see, for this nag, I put it as a 7.5 as x, and since the red arrow is x, as you can see here, the reference 9, here's the x, and for these two nags, the x value, on this axis, the x value should be the same. They haven't been moved in this direction, right? The only thing that have been moved is the z value. Okay, moving by doing that. So the first nag is on the negative side. Wait, it's on the positive side of the z-axis, right? So that's why it translate value gets a 20. So that means for another nag, if I just get a minus 20, it will be symmetry. See, I just manually moved it, and the number is minus 20.08. So the rough position, then you can see that it get very close. So if I just remove the decimals, it'll be there. Okay, so now you get the idea. Basically, I can just duplicate this layer, Command D, and then flip it to another side, right? I can just change the number here. So if I want to move it on this direction, actually you can see, as you can see that the only thing I have to do is flip the x value. So let me hit Command Z to go back. So now I have duplicated this nag, and I can just put a minus sign here. By doing that, I flip it to another side of the center of the world. This point is the center of the world. Okay, same thing here. So just select it, hit Command D to make a duplication, and then put a minus sign here. I got it. And same thing if I delete this one. and if I get this neck, and Command D, and then because it's moving on Z-axis, so I'll just have to put a minus here to flip it. And same thing if you want to get create this neck first and then flip to another side, and then you have to remove this minus sign. So here we get the basic shape of this table, and we only have left this part. So the idea is the same, the concept is the same. So we'll just create a one plane, and then duplicate it and flip it to another side. So you get the idea. Okay. So we'll do create and Polygon Cube, and for this one is 20, the length, and so here we can do 80 for the depth. Oh, sorry. So for this one we did actually it's 45. So here we will do maybe 42. Okay, it's too long, so maybe just 40. Okay, it's fine. And for the height, I will put 3 centimeter. Here we go. So if I move it in, and I would insert it into there. Okay. So sometimes it's really hard for you to focus on your model, the model you are working on. So there's a one-shot key. If you select a particular object that you want your camera to focus on, hit F key, F as focus. And then when you orient around the scene, you can see that it's focusing on the particular model you are selecting. So if I want to focus on another net, I just hit F key. And then that's this one. And my camera is focusing on. All right. So now I get this plane, and again I can just put a solid number here, maybe 8.5, and here put a 8. All right, and then I can just make a duplication. Hit Command D. Since for this one, I would only move it on X-axis. So that means I will just go to its translate X value and put a minus sign on it. Here is it. Okay, and create a nest cube, and its height is 3, and the length here we did 20, so maybe here we can do just 12. Wait, so instead of depth, okay, we would do the width 12. Here you go. All right, perfect. And move it up. So let's see how up is it. So when we select this one, so Y is 8.5. So we can just copy this value, Command C, and then select this board, and go to Y and Command V. So if you're using Windows computer, and then you will use Control C as copy, Control V as paste. I'm using Mac computer, so I use the Command C, Command V. All right. So I would move it out a little bit. So I'll just put this value as a integer. Maybe it's too much. Okay, so I will put a 20.5. That's good. So I make a duplication, and for another side, since I can just move it on Z-axis, right? This is a Z, as you can see. So I will put a minus sign on Z. Here we go. So we get this table super fast. Okay, so if you get used to this process, you can create this table in less than 1 minute. So in my next video, I'm going to show you another method for polygon modeling, and we're going to create the chair model.